EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from Pittsburgh. Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. This defense for the Dolphins, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Hey, kill.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Steelers had 5-11 on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On third down, it's Prescott. They're looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they prove their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Rodgers going to throw. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
5 yards remain on second down. Here's Cook again. And he's got room. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200-plus?
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. The left side completion to Jones. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to make it fourth down. Gets it out quickly here to the left flat. Touchdown, Dolphins. O.J. Howard, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Prescott. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And Chubb will try the middle here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. And again, it's Chubb. And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
To throw is Prescott. And that's caught inside the 35. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Run of the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Prescott. They're looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. There he goes, left side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And no run back here for Moore. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
I think that they like the guy who's calling the play.
It's caught inside the 25.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. But Dak Prescott, probably not the first name you think of in terms of strongest arms in the NFL, but he showed it off there.
And to be honest, this first half hasn't been anything they've been really proud about. So they needed something like this to change their fortunes. Now they need to make sure they finish this one off, not just with points, but with a touchdown.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now Chubb running right. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They run it again with Chubb. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Steps away. And Prescott, his third interception. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Julio. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Steelers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
On play action, Prescott. His throw incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
And this offense on third down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Prescott to throw it. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He couldn't get away there on third down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. A nice punt, but a good run back as well of 13 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. You don't see that too often, Charles. He punted that away and then hustled up to make the stop as well.
Yeah, because oftentimes they serve as their own safety after punting it. You want to be the last guy. He decided to get involved in the action, didn't he? And what a spark that's got to provide for the rest of his team when they see their punter out there making a nice hit.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Rodgers to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Adams.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. To throw, it's Rodgers. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the 31, Rodgers, throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Getting the ball is Cook, running left. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down and 4, Rodgers, quick hitter here, it's complete. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a first and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Now Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 6. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal.
Hey, you block over here.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Hey, take 26.
A final shot before break. Rodgers. He's got it. Touchdown. Dalvin Cook as time expires in the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. So they say no to the field goal try late in the half, and it winds up really paying off as they score on the final play.
Yeah, a little bit of a gamble, but they had some foresight as well because they knew they were going to get the ball to start the third quarter. So they thought to themselves, if we score here, we can double up on back-to-back drives when we start the second half.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the Steelers will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, He wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defense in front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott dumps this to his running back, Chubb. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play action now. Prescott. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And now off to the races down the right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point from McManus is good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Cook. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
But Cook getting the call there on 1st down as he works his way forward for a nice gain of 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 26. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a give running right, it's Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
A terrible towel is in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. To throw is Rodgers. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Tucker's kick is good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field. Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Rodgers now to throw.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. On the out route, this is Adams with a catch. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Rodgers. It's caught inside the 25. A big pickup of 38.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away, and frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Touchdown, Dolphins. Davante Adams from 19 yards away. And the Dolphins are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 24.
The score, Dolphins 31, Steelers 7. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line.
Elijah Moore on the return. The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere... Oh, Prescott stripped. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Here's Elijah Moore now, bringing it out of his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And the Steelers on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Prescott. Going deep here for Parker. It got his man complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25. A CD that helps the home team as they try to erase this deficit, give them the penalty for pass interference on the defense.
Yeah, and they certainly haven't been happy with what they've seen so far, have they? They're certainly hoping that call now might get the fans back into this one.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, Chubb. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Aaron Donald drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
first down.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. The one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Andrew Van Ginkel there on the stop. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On second down, it's Cook again. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 82 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
After the sack on first down, Prescott, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Dolphins are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Miami,
they finish off the regular season at 12 up and 5 down.
And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Steelers,
this loss will be the capper to what will be a disappointing 5-12 campaign.
And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the way.